We need
Okay.
to click.
Yeah, it seems that we are live now. So we are going to wait a minute. Welcome if you're joining us today. We can't see you for now, but welcome everybody. Maybe there's one of you, Tiffany or Saikat, see the number of participants? Nope.
I can't see anything.
You can see us.
I can see you and the presentation, but I don't know if
Okay.
I can't see people.
So we are going to wait a bit and we'll start in a few seconds. Just waiting for people to join. Okay. So maybe we can start and people will join all along the way. And it's recording, by the way. So hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, The Power of Digital Product Passports, Increase Sales while ensuring compliance and driving sustainability. I'm Virginie Blot, your host for today's session, and I'm excited to dive into this important topic with you. Digital product passports, or DPPs, are set to revolutionize how we manage product data, ensuring transparency, compliance, and sustainability across the entire life cycle of a product. With new regulation on the horizon, especially the 2026 deadline for various industries, it's crucial to understand how to leverage these changes for your business advantage. So today, I'm joined by two distinguished guests who bring a wealth of knowledge and experience in this area. First, we have Saikat Ghosh, consulting principal at Digital Data Consultancy, DDC, and not DPP. Saikat is an expert in enterprise data management solution and will share insights on why organizations should leverage PIM systems over MDMs to address DPP requirements. Hello, Saikat.
Hello.
And next, we have Tiffany Duterte, Head of Sales at Ocode, a leading technological authentication and traceability solutions. Tiffany will talk about the original use cases Ocode covered and how they have adapted to support DPP implementation. Bonjour, Tiffany.
Bonjour. Hello, everyone.
Together, we'll explore the regulatory framework, industry impact, and practical strategies to prepare your business for these new requirements. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the dedicated section at the right of your screen. I can't promise we'll have time to answer, but we'll definitely reach out after the session if not. So let's get started with you, Saikat. My first question is for you. So you're a consulting principal at Digital Data Consultancies, as I said in the introduction, a leading enterprise data consultancy that delivers master data management solutions, MDMs. So you know a lot about this area, product information management, data management. Why, according to you, should organizations leverage PIM systems over MDMs to address DPPs?
Sure. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes. In our journey across the industry, crossing both CPG, as in consumer product goods, and supermarkets, we kind of seen a huge amount of traction in ESG in the recent times. Along with it, we have kind of found some key learnings from where the customers are coming from and asking us for their requirements. We have seen that products making ESG related claims grow 8% more than those which do not. Those kind of real life analytics that are coming out from these organizations shows that there's a huge potential of ESG related information along with your product information. There's focus on using less water, building an energy efficient supply chains, which are kind of driving this, but consumers want to see that effort being put into the products that they consume. Recently, we had a good use case that we delivered for a global beverage company. which was pretty interesting and kind of demonstrate that ESG is not really limited to master data management. It's the wider aspect of ESG, which is ESG information, which the consumers are wanting. Here in this business case that we delivered, the key information that we were selling was DPP related data, but it extended itself to become something which the organization wanted to take to the consumer, something related to beverage industry, sustainability, agriculture, how they were making the product, what energy consumption they were doing, and how efficient they were in their sustainability goals. That information is all coming in their DPP passport. So that's where the key benefit area is from a PIM system. A PIM can actually leverage the information that is there in your master data management system and bring it out for the consumer to consume.
I like what you say, Saikat, saying that really the PIM is really the customer-oriented, customer-facing product information, while MDM is for global companies and more cold data, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for this great insights. Tiffany, on your side, I said it, you're the head of sales at Ocode, a technological authentication and traceability solution. What were Ocode's original use cases before the DPP initiatives? How was Ocode born?
Yes, thank you, Virginie, and thank you again for being here. So, yes, Ocode was created in 2016, and we first did 3 years of research and development. And the first business application was in the bike industry, and maybe then we can share the slide to illustrate it.
Yes.
Because we have in France bike regulations since January 2021. Indeed, since then, each bike must be identified uniquely and registered in a national registry. And the Ocode blockchain has been chosen to host this registry on behalf of the French government. So each bike and all its details are registered with the contact details of the owner to help the police in case of bike theft, for instance. So we developed the materials to identify this bike as resistant stickers and as laser marking. And we also developed the technology to enable agreed partners to write in this national registry. So we have almost 5 million bikes registered in our blockchain since its creation. And we work with major brands in this industry, such as Decathlon and La Manufacture Française du Cycle, which create the bikes for Intersport. So since the very beginning at Ocode, we created NFTs in our blockchain. And after that, we upgraded our technology to propose digital passport, which was actually original digital passport for bikes with details on the bike, with documents, with traceability for the final consumer. So for instance, we work with, you can see on the screen, O2 Field, but also Moustache bikes. And as from 2022, we decided to go further and to diversify the business in high-end industry where we had a need for authentication and fight against counterfeits. As the solution, the Ocode solution provides a link between a physical product and a digital passport where you can host, for instance, a certificate of authenticity. So we developed the business in jewelries, in high-end watches, in art, and so on. And since this year, and with the partnership with Akeneo, we open our solution to new industry that will have to comply to some regulation, and especially the DPP regulations.
Yeah, this is so interesting. Thanks, Tiffany, because yes, DPP is coming and is coming soon. We know for specific industry first, batteries, textiles, and electronics. But a lot of industries have already been able to comply to regulations. So that's so interesting. Saikat, I'd like to come back to you because I'd like to know, based on all your expertise, what would you recommend to someone inside an organization who is maybe afraid of being late and doesn't know where to start with DPP? What would be your recommendation to give to an organization just starting their DPP journey? Where to start?
Yeah, sure. So right now, as you mentioned, there's loads of these compliances coming, through. It's almost falling from the ceiling right now. There's plastic and packaging tax in UK with deposit return schemes. There's high fat, sugar and salt content in your food items that has to be highlighted. All of them has become part of their compliance duty. It's just not DPP. And that's where we kind of see our whole information architecture or data architecture change in the organization of today. So you have already got a fantastic amount of information from your suppliers. You have it in your ERP systems of how much utilities you're using in your product life cycle. There's loads of supply chain information. The product MDM functionality that is there within the organization also has a host of information. But from there, of this myriad information, what's important is you kind of distill it and compile what you would need to show to your customer. And that's where the PIM has an effective play, as in it kind of brings in what would be a customer-focused information out from this whole myriad of information, and present it to your e-commerce channels where the consumers can use it through the asset, the product asset that is there for DPP. You can access this information quite easily now from your hand and from your mobile devices to laptops to any kind of screens that you wanted to show it. Yeah, so I think the architectural pattern that people now follow is almost decoupled, but the information architecture in the background is as it has been for ages. But the PIM brings in a real flavor for consumer to access this information.
Yes, and something that you mentioned also while we were preparing this conversation is also that this is so important for an organization to start knowing where is the data. It's basic, but where is the data stored, and
Sure.
what do we want to share with customers? So doing this first analysis is already a big first step, being clear with what you want. And so, of course, you mentioned e-commerce, but we all know that the PIM really address multi-channel, omni-channel, own and unknown channels. This is becoming huge with syndication, marketplaces, and so on. And this is exactly why we've got close together, Tiffany and Ocode, to offer relevant solutions to organizations, leveraging Akeneo and to ease their data mapping. Because once you have these data into a PIM system like Akeneo, then you need to create this mapping, generate those QR codes to then share them in every possible channel. So, Tiffany, can you explain how your application helps organizations leverage Akeneo for data mapping, please?
Yeah, sure. So indeed, we partnered with Akeneo this year to facilitate data collecting for the brands, because we know that it's one of the major challenges for the brands to comply with the regulations. So the DPP Biocode application is now available on the Akeneo app stores, and it's really a passport management platform to easily create DPP directly from the platform. It's quite easy. It's only in 4 steps. Using all the PIM data, and we know that in the DPP in the digital passport, all of the product information will be asked. So that's why it was really relevant for us to have this partnership with the Akeneo PIM. So the creation will be done in 4 steps. First, create the DPP template by choosing the right industry template using for instance, the fashion template. And second, select the products for which the brand wants to generate DPPs, for instance, collection summer 2024. Then complete the data mapping, meaning that for each required field for the DPP template, we must match the field created in the PIM with the right label, and the step is only made once, and then generate the DPPs. So it's very easy. And one thing important as well is that it's also a way to announce the PIM, as the DPP URL is integrated into the product sheet in the PIM. So it's very easy to share all these QR codes on all the channels, the selling channels, for instance, to the shops, to the resellers, to the e-shop. It's very easy with this URL. And also important to say that we can also field the product passport with also external data if the brands already works with partners on traceability or on carbon calculators. And at Ocode, we also partner with different partners on traceability as Fairly Made, on carbon calculator as Carbon Fact, Crystal Chain. Those partners, we can work with them to get all the data on the PIM, on the product, and on traceability and carbon impact to gather all this information on the digital passports. And to say a little bit more about the regulations use case, the Ocode solution complies with help to comply with different regulations. When we need to share product information to the user or to the final consumer. So we talked about the DPP, but there are also wine labeling regulations, identifying regulation. There will be a lot of them. And for the DPP, just a quick word on this. So it's a European regulation. It's part of the ESPR regulation that aims at guaranteeing traceability, transparency, and circularity for the final consumer. And there will be various requirements in the DPP regulations. First, we will need to have a unique identifier by reference linked to a digital passport, embedded all those information about traceability and origin of the materials and stuff like that. And also, there will be static data on the product and on what we just said, but also dynamic data able to evolve with the life cycle of the product. So it's important to have that in mind and to have a solution that is able to follow the lifeline of the product. And one last important thing is that the QR code must be able to manage access rights, meaning that depending on the user, the people, the person who scan the QR code, it can be the final consumer and having access to those static information, but it can be also an authority system that will need to get access to the documents that will certify that, for instance, this carton is organic. So we need to get this management access right to be able to display various information depending on the user.
Yeah, I like that you explained that, because this must be clear. You wanted to add something?
No, just about the regulation. You can see on the slide the timeline. So it started in 2023, and
yes,
the different industry will be concerned at the end of the day. A lot of industry will be concerned, and by 2026, a lot of industry must have to comply with the regulation.
And we have actually a related question to that, and I will take that question because we have 1 minute to answer, and this is so important. Azure, sorry if I don't pronounce your name well, is asking, is there a clear definition in place where companies can go and check which data, product attributes and value, is going to be required for each sector to be compliant with the regulation? And this is exactly what Tiffany wrote at the bottom of the slide, actually. So the European Union, for each industry, so let's take the battery industry. If you go on Google, Azure, and you write DPP battery consortium, you will find a big document of more than 40, 50 pages. So they work with consortium. So one consortium, several consortia, and they gather with a lot of players, technology players, industry players. If you take the battery one, they have worked with car manufacturers, but also with SAP, for instance. In the textile industry, they work with a lot of players in the luxury world, LVMH, Kering, to define what is acceptable, what should be the right balance. And that's why it takes so much time, actually. And that's why still today we don't have the clear list of expected attributes. So our job and Tiffany's job at Ocode and for all the players within that industry will be to gather the expected information. So in the Ocode app, to be clear, if you choose, I want to build a DPP for fashion, for textile, you will get the requested attributes, the requested information to generate a DPP and to comply with the regulation. And that will be Ocode job to make sure that they are updated each time there is a change, any change coming from the European Union. So we could compare that to syndication, actually, the fact that channel like Amazon requires each time new information. Syndication tools, syndication players, we have Akeneo activation to support that, for instance. This is our job to make sure that any new change is updated and we let our users know that there is a new change and they have to update the information. Absolutely. So I hope it answers, but you were right to ask that question. That's so important.
And that's why
Go on.
Sorry.
Go on.
No, that's why the passport has to be dynamic to be able to evolve with the regulation. And also, we, as you were saying, we are part of a group at the AFNOR in France, and we are a partner, GS1 partner, also to be very close to the regulation and the requested field that will be asked in the digital passport.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that. So I think the source of that information is the true optimization of getting this data from the source is often the key. So syndication is one of the things. Supply portal within Akeneo is another functionality which we leverage to get data directly from the supplier who has the right data, the right compliance certificates. Again, Akeneo actually has that facility that we leverage, in which we store the compliance certificates within the DAM tool itself, so that it can be retrieved when needed. So all these are part of your compliance journey for DPP that is facilitated by the PIM.
Yeah, exactly. And Saikat, you mentioned earlier the example in the beverage industry, but we know that the DPP won't be mandatory for all industries at the exact same time. How should organizations prepare for the staggered implementation of DPPs across industries?
Yes.
Started to answer.
Yeah. So and that's where we need to kind of build up is an infrastructure which allows capture of this data from the source correctly in one single truth at the time of getting that data from the source. And that's kind of has become quite key in all organizations right now, that it is inevitable. You will have that coming. It's you have to give that customer the ability to get that information, because we are all concerned about the future of our planet, and that's becoming more and more important. So organizations has to prepare with that infrastructure of capturing that data at source and enabling it to be used by the consumer for their decision making.
Yeah, thanks for that, Saikat. Tiffany, on your side, what are your recommendations for handling the growing legal context of DPPs? Because it won't stop. And is it only, I would say, as Saikat mentioned at the beginning, is it only about regulation?
No, that's one of the points we really want with this product Ocode with Akeneo to be able to turn this legal constraint into a business opportunity. So we actually put in the product also another platform where you can turn this in business opportunity, a solution where you can put some documents, some personalized experience to enhance the product experience. So sharing, we were talking at the beginning about certification. So putting a document, certificate of authenticity, of conformity, but also some instructions, some manual, use a manual for the user, for the consumer, all the documents that can be relevant for the client, but also some traceability of the product to track all the steps at the selling, but also the reselling on a second-hand market, to be able to follow the different owners of the product, and some care and maintenance advice. And also, we want to have in this digital passport the possibility to offer additional services, such as purchasing complementary products, reselling on the second-hand market, repairing, recycling, all those additional services that can be relevant for the client. And all of this is a way to get additional revenue. So to really convert those costs in additional revenue by selling other products, but also for new client acquisition, so for client retention, to maybe display some brand messages explaining why we did this choice on this origin of the materials and stuff like that. And I think we can really go further with this tool, further than just the legal aspect of the regulation.
Yeah, this is so inspiring, Tiffany. I'm conscious of the time. I saw your questions, guys, and don't worry, we will reach out to you right after that. Before wrapping up, I want to again thank you, Saikat and Tiffany, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise.
Thank you.
And before we wrap up, let's recap the key takeaways, what I keep from our conversation. And so number one to me is really what you just said, Tiffany, unlocking new business opportunities through compliance. DPPs are not just regulatory requirements, but also opportunities for brands to differentiate themselves. By providing detailed and transparent product information, companies can build consumer trust, enhance brand loyalty, and potentially increase sales. The number two is more related to what you share with us, Saikat, streamlining data management for effective DPP implementation. PIM systems like Akeneo play a critical role in organizing, standardizing, and managing the extensive data required for DPPs. And of course, we support seamless integration with other systems, such as ERPs and PLMs, that will also have a big role to play in the DPP generation. The number three would be promoting sustainability and circular economy. DPPs have a significant impact on sustainability efforts by helping companies monitor and reduce their environmental footprint. So thank you again, Saikat and Tiffany, for your contribution. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. I share with you the direct contact to Tiffany and Saikat, and they will also reach out to you with your question. Or Rose, I saw your numerous questions. You can be sure that Tiffany will answer to you. I will also come back to you because some of you want to know how it looks like in Akeneo. Tiffany can also do a demo of the app directly integrated with Akeneo. So again, we keep your questions and we will reach out to you. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Saikat, for your time and your preparation.
Thank you.
Thank you.